So what's going on, guys? My name's Ash and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel today. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Today I'm bringing you quite a highly requested video because I always see it in like the comment section, you know, what's your tactics, what formation do you use, what instructions, blah blah blah. So I thought it would be very, you know, useful if I brought it to you guys today because, you know, if that's what you guys want to see, then I guess that's what you want to see. Now, I would just like to say before we get into it, I'm not like the best player, I'm not a professional, but I'm also not terrible. We're currently like 13-0 in this weekend league, and last weekend we finished 26-4. So you can see we're not like terrible at the game, but we're not like professionals either. But yeah, before we get into the video, guys, I would appreciate it if you could drop it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you are new so you never miss out on any videos like this one, and yeah, also be sure to comment down below what videos you'd like to see because I'm always open to suggestions and making videos on what you guys want. But yeah, without further ado, guys, let's get right into it. So I might as well give you some context on my team, and I would just like to say I haven't spent as much money as you guys probably think I have. I'm not lying here. Most of it's like pack pulled. Hazard we got from Rivals, De Bruyne we did buy, Mbappe is untradeable because we packed him as well. Varane we packed, Alonso's an SBC, Courtois first owner, Desire we did buy, Lala was only 60k, Blanc we bought for 1 million coins. And if we're looking at players on the bench, all these are pack pulled. We actually got this Pogba yesterday as well, which was pretty mad. But yeah, basically what I'm saying is I don't put that much money into the game. I just have pretty good pack luck when it comes to rivals and stuff. But yeah, the formation I use in game is the 4-2-2. Now I'm not sure if many people use it, but it's been working for me. And the thing I like about the 4-2-2 is it has the two central defensive midfielders like the 4-2-3-1, which means you have very good defensive support. It also has two cams, which means you can, you know, easily play in your strikers and stuff, and you can easily link the play from like your defense to your offense. So I think it's like quite a balanced formation, and obviously you have two strikers as well, which is very deadly when it comes to scoring goals. Now the main reason that I moved away from the 4-2-3-1, which I've shown you guys previously, is because I don't feel like it offers enough attacking support at the start of a game when you're like drawing or you're losing or whatever, because, you know, you've only got one striker and he can become quite isolated, especially if your opponent's applying a lot of pressure and stuff. So I wanted to find something which was still pretty good defensively but was very good offensively off the go, so you never find yourself going like 1-0 down before you've scored a goal, that kind of thing, you know. I don't know how to explain it, it's just my mindset. But anyway, that's what I like about the 4-2-2-2. Now, the instructions that we have on our players are actually quite basic. We don't really change a lot. For the strikers, I don't actually change anything because I don't always want them to be running in behind my opponent, because 1v1 opportunities aren't always the best way to score. And at the same time, I don't always want them just hanging around the edge of the box waiting for the finesse shot, because it's quite predictable. So by having them, you know, on balanced and stuff and not changing anything, sometimes they'll run in behind, and sometimes you can just call them short for like a finesse shot or something, which is very obviously very effective in this game. Now for our cams, I don't change anything either, because if you tell them to stay forward, I feel like the formation turns into more like a 4-2-4, because you've got like your 2 CDMs and your 4 defenders, and then you've basically just got like 4 goal hangers, and I don't really want that. It doesn't really offer you a lot of balance in the game, and it can isolate your attackers from your defense, which is not good. So by leaving these on basic, you'll notice that you have more of like a link between the midfield and your attackers, and it actually, you know, it actually feels more like a 4-2-2-2 than a 4-2-4. So that's what I have. Obviously, like, the cams will occasionally come back to defend as well, which is obviously very useful, because sometimes when your opponent's throwing a lot of men forward, it can help to have that extra defensive support. But on the other hand, obviously they're also very good offensively too. Now for the 2 CDMs, obviously mine are Kante and Blanc. I have them on stay back while attacking, because for my CDMs, I just don't want them bombing forward. I need that extra extra protection in front of the defense, because my defense is not brilliant. So yeah, by having these on stay back while attacking, they won't start bombing up the pitch, and you won't always commit too many men to the attack. So keep them on stay back while attacking, and you'll notice a good change in your team. Now for the two fullbacks, I thought long and hard about this. I like to have these on balanced, and purely because when a lot of people apply pressure in the game, you'll notice that the game becomes very, very narrow, and it can be difficult to play the ball out, especially in a narrow formation like the 4-2-2-2. If you have your fullbacks on balanced attack and not just stay back, you'll notice that they'll start running down the wings and stuff when the game is being played very narrow, and it gives you a lot of width and allows you, you know, a time to breathe when your opponent is applying a lot of pressure, and it also allows you to hit them on the counter attack quite a lot. They don't like overcommit. I find, like in FIFA 18, if I had them on like balanced attack, they would always be up the pitch and they would never defend. But if you have defenders with pretty decent work rates, like Lala does seem to get forward a bit because of his high medium, but they do seem to actually get back, which is very, very good. Having them on balance definitely can surprise your opponents, because they don't usually expect the extra width that you play. Now, moving on to our custom tactics, where do I go? Yeah, here. We have pressure on heavy touch. Now, this is because if you have constant pressure, your players are just going to get knackered, and you'll end up losing more games than you'll win, because your opponents will just be too tired. Pressure on heavy touch basically makes it so if your opponent makes a heavy touch, you will pressure them and go and win the ball. I find this to be very balanced, because your players aren't always applying pressure, but they apply it when it's necessary, and that's why I use it. Now for the width, I have this on like 5, because like I said, with this formation it's quite a narrow one. You don't want it to become like a 4-4-2. So if you have this too wide, as you can see here, it turns into more like a 4-4-2, right? But if you have it on like 5, you can see it's still like a 4-2-2, and it's quite narrow, which is very good in this game, but it's not too narrow that you can just get flanked all the time. Now for depth, I like to have my depth quite high, because I have pretty quick centre backs. I don't know if you guys do as well, but I have RANT and Desai. They both have like 84 base pace, and I also put a shadow on them, so they're very, very quick, which means I can afford to have a bit of a higher line, because I can catch their strikers if a ball is played over the top, and this just allows me to keep on top of the game and make sure I have the ball more than my opponent. This is very personal preference. You can do what you like with this, but if you have like relatively quick centre backs, I suggest having your depth up quite high, but obviously not too high, because you know it's just not good. You'll just get destroyed. Now for my offensive tactics, I have width on 5 again, just because, you know, I don't really feel the need to change that from that, you know. Players in the box, we have this on 4, because I don't want to have too many players bombing into the box, because if you play a ball into the box and you've got everyone in the box, and your opponent's goalkeeper like punches it out, you're immediately going to get screwed on the counter attack, and you won't be able to get back in time. So by having this on 4, you can see I always have like 2 players around the edge of the box to sweep up if a goalkeeper or a defender clears it out, and allows me to maintain possession. Now for corners, I just have this on 3, because I think it's quite important to have quite a few people in the box when it comes to a corner, just because, you know, corners are pretty overpowered in this game, and you can always cheese yourself an easy goal by the use of a corner. Now for free kicks, I don't really like to have many people forward for a free kick. I have this on 2, because, you know, I usually either just shoot it or I'll call a second man. I never really use the players that are in the box. I never really cross it, so there's no like real point in them being there. But yeah, that is what I use for my attacking game plan. This is what I use when I go into a game, and you know, this, like when it's 0-0 start of the game, or I'm just playing, you know, that's what I'll use. I do obviously have like secondary and third formations and stuff that I use. Like the defensive one I'll use is a 4-2-3-1. This is what I use. It's pretty you know, similar. It's just a 4-2-3-1 really, and I don't have the fullbacks on attack. Like everything else is pretty much the same. But yeah, that's just what I'll use when I'm defending, because like I said, the 4-2-3-1 is very good defensively, but it doesn't always offer you offensive support. But if you're winning a game and you kind of just want to see one out, there's no real problem in using the 4-2-3-1, because, you know, it's obviously very good defensively, and it seems to open up your opponents a lot more when you've scored a goal, and that's when this formation is very effective on the offense. Now for ultra defensive, I do use a 4-2-3-1 wide, and that's just because when you're defending like a lead, your opponent will often throw like a lot of people forward, like his fullbacks and stuff, and this just gives you like the extra defensive cover, because you've obviously got like your left mid and right mid. So I find this to be very useful when defending, because it makes it difficult for you to break down. I use drop back, I use very high width and low depth, because you want to be sitting deep, you know, you want to have all your players back and stuff. You don't want to be holding a high line, so your opponent can play balls in through the back line. For offense, I just have this very low, because, you know, you don't really want to be committing men forward if you're desperately holding on to a lead, so you just have this on like the bare minimum. Instructions, I just have come back on defense on everyone, pretty much. I'll have stay back while attacking on the CDMs, stay back while attacking on the fullbacks. I still have stay forward on the cam and the striker, just because it allows you to actually get out if you are being, you know, if you are being attacked, because like when you win the ball back, you still need someone to actually, you know, keep possession of the ball, so you're not constantly under pressure, and it also helps you to take a bit of a break when your opponent is just applying a lot of pressure and stuff. But yeah, that's what I use for ultra defensive and ultra attacking. This is just like pretty made up, to be honest. I don't really know what this is all about. I just put loads of things on which are very offensive, because, you know, when you're really desperately trying to get a goal, this is what you do. As you can see, it's just like a 3 at the back, so it's not really that relevant. But yeah, that is what I use for division rivals and foot champions, guys. If you have found this useful and informative, I would appreciate it if you could drop it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, so you never miss out on any videos like this one, and also be sure to comment down below what videos you would like to see, because I'm always open to suggestions. And with all that aside, guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will catch you all later. Peace.